Hello, juniors. Today we are going to talk about equilibrium and reaction rates. And what I want us to get out of this is when a reaction is stressed, when you change the temperature, or when you change a concentration, or when you add pressure to a reaction, we need to understand how those changes affect equilibrium, and how they're going to change whether the forward of the reaction is favored or the reverse direction of the reaction is favored. So if you look up on the board, we see the reaction that we looked at in class today, and I can see that I've got sulfur dioxide, and sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen to produce sulfur trioxide. And you need to ask yourself, is this an endothermic reaction or an exothermic reaction? And as I look up on the board, I can see that this, in fact, is an exothermic reaction because heat is being given off. Now, the first stressor we want to talk about is concentration. If I change equilibrium by adding more of a reactant, if I add more oxygen, I know that it's going to favor the forward reaction. Adding oxygen is a stress, and as you increase the amount of oxygen, that means I have more oxygen to be able to convert to sulfur trioxide. If you look in your notes or in the textbook, Le Chatelier's principle is very general, and it states this: if you stress a system in equilibrium, the system will always change to reduce the stress. So if I stress this system by adding one or both of the reactants, this system will change, and equilibrium will be shifted in favor of the forward reaction. If I change this system by increasing the temperature and I add heat, this system will change to reduce the stress, and by adding heat to an exothermic reaction, you are in fact going to favor the reverse direction of the reaction. Pressure is a little bit of a different story. I have to look at the volume of these gases, and I can see the reactants. I have 3 moles of gas, and in the product I only have 2 moles of gas. So if you increase the pressure, by increasing the pressure, you are going to favor the direction that will reduce the stress, and the less volume is over here in the product. So by increasing the pressure, you in fact favor the forward reaction. And by increasing the pressure, you're going to have more sulfur trioxide produced. If you decrease the pressure, decreasing the pressure is going to favor the larger volume. And so to reduce the stress, you are going to favor the reverse, and you'll have more oxygen and sulfur dioxide produced. So when we look at Le Chatelier's principle and how we can in fact change the equilibrium, we do this by adding stress to our system. And if I add or remove one of the reactants or products, the system will always change to reduce that stress. I hope this helps with understanding how factors affect equilibrium, and that you can apply this in many different areas. For example, in mechanics, you could apply this to pressures in hoses in a hydraulic system, and how the change always reduces the stress. You can apply it to human biology. When we talk about carbon dioxide levels in blood, and you look at reactions involving carbon dioxide and carbonic acid, and the reaction or the system will always be in favor of reducing the stress or that increased carbon dioxide. So hopefully this helps you in understanding factors that affect equilibrium in reactions, and good luck with your homework.